started my Monster Hunter journey 13 years ago with Monster Hunter Freedom on the PSP. Since then, I've played most Monster Hunter games throughout my life. But there was one thing in common throughout all the journeys I had. I could never beat him. Fatalis, Rage Incarnate, the enemy of humanity, the representation of nature's fury against the hunters. The legendary Black Dragon himself was always an insurmountable challenge that I could never beat. Even when I, as a kid, downloaded complete save files off the internet to try and beat him with the best weapons and armor there was, I still couldn't do it. Fast forward a few years to early 2021, and I had finally gotten Monster Hunter World on PC. Although college and life would end up getting in the way, and I wouldn't get too far in the game. Later, in 2023, I restarted World with the final goal of slaying Fatalis. The journey through the new world had its fair share of difficulties, but I had finally made it. The guild sent the general to Astera to recruit commission members to stop the reawakening of the legendary Black Dragon. Finally, we embarked on a journey back to the old world in a nostalgic fashion. Destination? The ruins of Castle Shrade.
Thanks.
Strap it to your left arm.
You're all prepped.
Gotcha.
This here?
Excuse me.
Okay.
You ready? Never thought we'd be going back home, especially like this. So nervous? Leave you me, I get it. But my new friend and I will give you all the support you could ask for. Nothing's gonna happen to you while I'm around. What the?
Okay, we know you're awesome. But I want to know what he thinks.
Yeah, me too.
Hunters, your attention. This is the layout of Castle Shrade. Weapons from its last stand are still on site. The cannons are here. Here, the ballistae. Hopefully we can find workable binders to use. You can see railing here. That means there may be a roaming ballista. And finally, a Dragonator. It'll be our ace in the hole. The mechanism is dated, so we'll need to manually fire the weapon. Finally, we have a barricade here. That barricade will need to be triggered manually as well. This is where the lever is. We'll need it in case of emergency. That's all. Carve this information into your brains.
Yes, sir. Fatalis, Castle Shrade? This still feels like a dream. I know it's cliche, but it's like we're in one of those bedtime stories our parents told us.
I know what you mean. The legend of Fatalis. has been passed down from generation to generation to generation.
Many believed that the story of Fatalis and Castle Schrade was just a fable created after the fact. I never thought those legends would turn out to be true.
The word Fatalis was never meant as a moniker for an actual beast. No, it was a word to describe an existence of some kind. But over time, it seems to become known as the name of the monster.
So what we're up against isn't a monster. It's actually history.
We're arriving soon. Steel yourselves.
Located something.
It really exists.
It wasn't just a legend.
Oh, amazing. I don't know how to put it, but it's like somehow the past and the present meet up right at this point.
However, that wasn't in the blueprints.
It's blocking the Dragonator.
But then, we can't reach the ballistae or barricade either.
Was it just slapped together? They fought back Fatalis and then propped it up?
I see. So that means in the end, they didn't have time to use their Dragonator. They realized all was lost and abandoned the offensive.
No. They most likely used it. They knew the stakes. They battled hard, defended their home, but were ultimately outmatched. They fought until the bitter end. If they just gave up, absolutely nothing would have remained once Fatalis was finished.
It was not my place to judge them.
So then, what should we do? With that in the way, we can't use the Dragonator.
Let's tear it down. Bring people in now.
Our forces?
I heard they're arriving shortly, sir.
Good. They're quick. Once we rendezvous with them, we should have enough manpower.
Don't forget about us.
Since we brought the wing drakes, we decided to establish a camp up there.
We'll need to update the maps, too. What's wrong?
Hang on. No way!
What? Already? Get out!
You okay? Commander, our main force is arriving soon, right?
Correct. Your odds?
In my favor as always. We'll buy everyone some time to escape.
No! This is madness! Retreat now! We can't have any missteps.
Go get it done, then.
Yes, sir.
To the camp!
Underestimating those two hunters was your biggest misstep. Believe me, I know all too well.
General.
Iceborne Fatalis is the hardest boss I've ever had to fight in any video game. The sheer ferocity of the attacks, the agile build, and with a health pool of 66,000 HP, no other monster can compare. In this video, I'm showing you my 6th attempt at Fatalis on what was my 2nd day of trying to beat him. My overall strategy was to tenderize one of the legs and then hit it to build Spirit Gauge. After that, I would use powerful helm breakers and other attacks to do huge amounts of damage to the head and chest. Another very important thing in this fight is to wallbang Fatalis every time he's not enraged. Not only does each wallbang do huge amounts of damage, but he then becomes enraged, taking extra damage when I hit him. Here I got caught by one of Fatalis' attack, and an unfortunate panic roll led me to faint for the first time. But I wasn't done yet. Here's the build that I used. I would say that heavy artillery is the one skill that made this fight possible. Even though I only got to use the skill with the roaming ballista, since I never used the cannons, getting double damage made the difference. It meant that Fatalis would be guaranteed to be knocked down when I used the ballista for the 2nd time in the fight. So an interesting thing is that you actually don't get much benefit in damage by tenderizing the head, so tenderizing the chest and the legs was my top priority. I decided to bring Fireproof Mantle over Rocksteady, as well as Temporal Mantle, as both allowed me to survive even blue flame attacks from Fatalis that you'll see later. Unfortunately, I couldn't recover from the barrage of attacks being thrown at me, leading me to fainting once more. Fatalis suddenly left the battlefield, but this was no time to rest, as he was preparing a huge flame to destroy me. So I took shelter behind a thick piece of metal. The whole castle felt as if it was being burnt away, while I prepared as much as I could in safety. As I entered the battlefield once more, I used the roaming ballista, trying to do as much damage as possible to the chest of Fatalis. So far, this is not going so great. A lot of time had passed, and I was still in phase 2. I had to step it up. Then, I picked up the one-shot binder and ran to the closest ballista I could find. With Fatalis ensnared, I used the fleeting opportunity to build my spirit gauge and damage the horns of the beast. Another one-shot binder was located at the left side of the fortress, and so I used it again to trap Fatalis. I knew I was close to toppling Fatalis, so as soon as he took flight, I ran over to the normal ballista. At this point, I had done 50% of Fatalis' HP. I ran over to the barricade as he prepared to turn straight into a sea of flames. It was close, but I survived. Suddenly, the whole battlefield lit on fire as Fatalis unleashed a burning roar. I had not yet broken the horns, which contained the secret to Fatalis' power. Fatalis' attacks in this phase are terrifying. I never know how big the blasts are going to be, and he does a lot of damage. As Fatalis burned the battlefield to a crisp once more, the roaming ballista was loaded by the guild. Although I knew I couldn't topple Fatalis again, this was an opportunity to deal massive damage. Dragonator, the strongest weapon that defended Castle Schrade, was now operational. It was crucial that I use this weapon correctly, by activating it only when Fatalis was in the correct position, or else it could be the end for me. With only 5 minutes left, after all the stalling that Fatalis did, I only managed to hit one of the 2 Dragonator spears. Was it over? I wasn't sure, but I knew I could not give up. I had to try. As Fatalis put his head down to attack me, I managed to hit his head, and finally, one of his horns gave away. Fatalis fell to the ground, as hope and adrenaline filled my body. I attacked Fatalis with fury and determination. This had to end here.
Another
that was it. With 1 minute left, it was all over, right? All that effort for nothing. I was exhausted and ready to leave the quest. But suddenly, memories rushed over me. The memories of past fights with Fatalis came back, as I mustered enough strength to run over to the hitching post. I needed to try one last time.
You are...
I'm extremely sad that OBS didn't record my microphone. At this moment, I almost jumped out of my chair and felt a rush of adrenaline and happiness unlike any other video game experience. The whole encounter with him is a piece of art. The build-up, the visual style, the incredible music all feel like the perfect end to the journey that was Monster Hunter World Iceborne. But to me, it was more than that. Fatalis had been the looming, impenetrable wall that has always haunted Monster Hunter games for me. But on this day, I had finally climbed that wall and beaten the legendary Black Dragon, Fatalis. On this day, I made history. And with that, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, maybe consider subscribing. I'm definitely not done making Monster Hunter content. Have a nice day, and until next time, bye bye.